Hello, my name is Abe. Welcome back to Monster Train. Yes, doing another run after having finished Pain Train. Maybe the next run is going to be a little bit more of a simpler run. A walk in the park, maybe. Homework, yes, but Fragile Collection. Fragile to the first friendly unit summoned each turn. All cards have additional upgrade slots. An additional collector every battle. Fragile Collection. Well, I like Fragile Collection. If you go Umbra, you can just use morsels to counteract the fragility. So I kind of feel like this is the way to go. Now, I hate to say it, but like we could go Melting Remnant again. We could play Dregs, we could play our champion and then have them fragile, burn out, die, and then come back again. We don't care if your units die, but maybe we'll try a Umbra Primordium, because we can play Primordium and have Primordium be fragile, and it's not really gonna change much. So I think that could work. And then what would be our allied clan? What about Wormkin? Well, actually, it's weird. I would love the normal Wormkin primary champion with Primordium at the same time so we could make Primordium fragile, but of course that's not how it works. Hellhorn is also tempting because the Hellhorn champion can gain a bunch of armor. I wonder though, Queen's Imps could work. I like Primordium here. I like Primordium. I just don't know what our allied clan is gonna be. I have a sweet spot for Awoken because I love the Awoken units. I don't think we want Stygian. I don't think we want Melting. I kind of like Wormkin. No Wormkin unit has multi-strike. The only Wormkin unit that has sweep is a rare. So it's really hard to get the scaling Umbra units out there, but I guess we're probably gonna go scaling Umbra Gorge units. Let's go for Wormkin. And we'll take Echo Break just so we can kill weak units early. Sure. All cards have an additional upgrade slot, additional collector, so it's easier for us to kill the collectors, and fragile, if it hits Primordium, we don't really care. Let's give it a shot. Arcatraz says, homework is never a blast IRL, only in games just like EVE Online. EVE Online is never a blast IRL? Who knew? Consume, making of a morsel, Echo Infusion, engine upgrade. I actually really like these cards. Daedalus and Arcus. We want to quickly upgrade our units because they have 3 upgrade slots. And then consume to restore Pyre health. Yeah. I like this because we'll probably try to make the Echo Breaks and the Plinks do more damage and consume, which makes it a pretty good upgrade target. We need the money. Buffet 5 or Buffet 3 add status effects. Well, that would apply Fragile. By the way, you can remove Fragile with the Melting Remnant card that purges debuffs, because it is a debuff. I think it used to be a status effect, but they changed it to be a debuff. Or maybe that's Heartless. I don't remember. I'll make you have Buffet 5, although I hate it. Dun 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 dun. Enemy units appear in each floor. We have so many spells, we're gonna do it. Like, I'm so thankful that not every enemy has spikes anymore. I also don't have any units. Well, I guess, oh well. We will play you to die. You'll get a kill. You can gorge next turn. And then if you're already dead, we'll kill 2 of you, and then we'll hopefully draw more plinks and stuff. Okay, I can't play the Train Steward because it's gonna have Fragile. So I'm like, okay, I guess you can buff Primordium. and then we'll just kill off a train steward. I need a morsel. I need planks. There we go. Because I need to plink. So, well, I need to morsel to purge fragile. Then I can actually play the damn train steward, who's gonna be really freaking strong. You are gonna make it to the pyre? Man, this train steward is gonna have infinite HP. I kinda like that. And we're not gonna get the gold, but that's okay. There's 2 collectors every combat, so if we miss one every once in a while, we're fine. I wish I could kill you. You're gonna hit the pyre twice, but that's not bad. Thank you. We can have a morsel. The boss will not make it through our amazing train steward. He's a good train steward. He's a big boy. Dude, yeah. And we still have 2 turns of Primordium being gorged. Now, Primordium's gorging will happen every turn of combat here. So we're gonna gorge twice, Primordium's gonna go away, and then this guy's gonna gain plus 42 health. That's the benefit of buffet, if you can keep that buffet going through Relentless. It's constant gorging, but generally it doesn't work out that way. Generally you do kind of just run out of gorging right when the boss shows up. I like Antumbra, even though we have a lot, and we want Echo Transfer. So we buff Primordium, and then Primordium gets eaten. That's our entire run now. We know exactly what we're doing. And I kinda like it. I kinda like that. So we have a lot of money, we need units. I don't care what the unit is, basically. I don't want endless. So you know what? If we don't want endless, we could re-roll it. Look at what we have, and then see if something fits. And dare I say, Bog Chrysalis is kind of tempting here, because Bog Chrysalis can eat Primordium, and then when it splits, we'll get the Bog Chrysalis out. I think we can make it work. It's super weird, but like quick Bog, bunch of health, and then if we get a little bit lucky, we can give it multi-strike, and then we're gonna have 4 multi-strike quick ones that have eaten Primordium like 6 times, hopefully. I think we can make it work. Plus 10 magic power and piercing. Yeah, I will take that on Antumbra. Just because I think I would like to have 1 good upgraded spell. Spikes 3. We have so many plinks, this should not be a problem. We're gonna kill the units very easily, and then hopefully get morsels to purge our... Well, actually, Primordium can, well, because they have spikes, we have to do it in a different way, which is totally fine, it'll still work. Making of a morsel. Fragile. Primordium. Bog Chrysalis. This is still fine. I really wanted to kill you, but what I'll do instead is give Primordium 10 health, which will apply every turn of combat. What a weird run, but I kind of like it. And we have to apply a lot of shell, but even if we don't apply the shell, it's still a unit that's gorging. Trying to think how we can do this. I think we plink. I think I just plink here just to get something. Taking 3 damage. You're quick, so you're doing 9. I guess to help Shell, we'll do that. Take a little bit of damage. Pyre takes 4. Oh! I guess it is hard to play the buff spells when we're constantly losing Shell. I'll admit to that. We just want stats. And then you can come here. And if you haste up, you're not going to, but if you did haste up, we wouldn't be able to play what we need up here, but that's fine. Do this. Do this. We will draw a Plink, but I would really love to apply Echo Transfer. You know what? We don't need to apply Echo Transfer. Let's hatch the shell right now. What? That's a new one. Well, we've learned something important today. What we've learned is that the bogfly has some problems associated with it. Those problems include if it hatches at the end of turn and you haven't played a unit, it has fragile. So, yeah, that's interesting. Didn't really think about that, but how was I supposed to know that would even be a problem? Okay, well, we've learned. I think a Space Prism's fine. I don't think we need another Echo Transfer, although I will admit to this being fantastic. I'm also totally willing to get rid of the Bog Chrysalis, by the way, because the shell is getting rid of our ability to buff Primordium. But for now, I kind of like it as a way of just allowing Primordium to buff something. But if we get another unit that's better, especially if it's a Gorge unit, we might just go that route instead. Let's check out the unit upgrade that we have. It's Endless again, which I hate. But I will admit that something like Crucible Collector could be tempting because we can make an insanely good unit and it would be very tanky with the lifesteal, which I kind of like. I wish we could get like a better thing going on here because these are not the units that I want, but we're gonna need more damage at some point. I just don't know where we're gonna get it if we just take a collector right now. But units cost -2. 20th morsel is 150 damage to enemy units on all floors. Shadow Box is weirdly playable. We don't really have a lot of morsel generation other than Plinks is the problem. Maybe eventually we will get the morsels for this. Kind of like Forever Flame, because we have the opportunity to take 2 more units, and if we get expensive units, they'll be really cheap. But Shadow Box is like a good last-ditch effort to keep your units alive. I really do not want Endless. Although I'll admit, like, Bog Chrysalis, Endless, if it shell hatches, it can come back and then get replayed, and then maybe we can keep hatching it to keep making Bog Chrysalises and Bog Flies, but not really what I'm looking for. I will give you health. We'll reroll. I mean, do you go Bog Chrysalis and double down, or Crucible Collector and double down? Do you go Crucible Collector in the Bog Chrysalis and double down, because it'll have lifesteal? Man, these upgrades have been terrible. Monster Spike, Spell Spike. We can go Monster Spike and get rid of a Train Steward. I like our spells because they're infused. We'll go Crucible Collector. I want Bog Chrysalis to have multi-strike. I think we whiffed. We've been whiffing very heavily. The fact that both of the Merchants of Steel had Endless as the options is just terrible. What can I say? So I'm gonna play what I get, and what I get right now is Crucible. So we'll play you, and then you, and then you, I guess we can still play the Bog Chrysalis, but it's not gonna scale at all. Like at all, but I guess, you know, where else are you gonna put the unit, you know? I can make you gorge one more time, but I think we'll just do this. Now, we have the same problem as last time, which is that we're not allowing us to actually get the Echo Transfer out there on Primordium, but maybe we can just Echo Transfer the Bog Chrysalis instead? Regardless, I do like this and then this. Like, do you buff the Bog Chrysalis or the Crucible Collector? Or rather, Primordium. If you buff Primordium, that's 45 damage to Crucible Collector. If you buff the Chrysalis, it's, well, not. You can just buff. We gotta kill all these units. I guess you... Well, Primordium can still attack before Relentless. So you know what? We'll do it like this. And I gotta remember to always play morsels in case they hatch. I don't think I'm gonna be using this Bog Chrysalis for too much longer. I think this is a mistake, because we really need to buff Primordium with the spells that buff, like, Echo Transfer. That's really what we're hoping for. Because it applies so much value to the Crucible Collector. And if we're doing that, if we're expending those, infusion charges, then we're not saving anything for the shell, and the shell's just sitting here. Like, this thing hasn't popped, and it's not going to pop. 92-33. I don't think we're gonna be able to kill you, but I can at least... Right, you don't get stronger, the Bogfly gets stronger. We can at least do, I guess, this, and then... You're dying? You are dying. Do this. Take a little bit of damage. Really hoping for a good unit. I think you always get a unit after this combat anyways, so... I'm just gonna buff you. I mean, the Crucible Collector here can kill the boss. That's not a problem. It's not a problem at all. Not a problem at all. We're actually gonna be able to hatch the egg right at the very end, you know, just in time. And they do 5 damage each. So glad I spent the time on that. Hit, 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 and then, I don't know. Don't even play that. They're also getting spiked up a little bit. At least they weren't fragile this time around. Yes, 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 yes. Eternal Kinstone can hatch the egg, and it, man, actually, that makes the echoes so much more likely to be played. If we make this intrinsic, we might keep the Bog Chrysalis, actually. Yeah. This is very good. This is very good. Even better than Shroud Spike, I think. And Morsel Maker inside of Bog Chrysalis is the exact type of melding we're looking for. So we kind of are figuring it out. We're figuring out what we want. One multi-strike on Bog Chrysalis is great. We're gonna start on the top floor. We're gonna infuse that card, hopefully. And we're gonna meld Morsel Maker so that it gets stronger every turn. I like it. Capacity. I don't think we need capacity. I think what we want is draw. Because we really need to get to the infusions and to the buff spells quickly. Quickly. We could also duplicate, which would allow us to maybe duplicate a Eternal Kinstone, which really is the be-all end-all of the deck that we're rolling here. We could also get a second Bog Chrysalis with the melding happening, but I don't think we need that. And then the Crucible Collector is kind of just, he's being tossed out there as a unit. He's not amazing, but he's doing something. So I really think we go left. Buffet 8 or status effect Buffet 5. We want Buffet 8 because we want to buff Primordium with spells and have it last a long time. And honestly, here's what I'm gonna do. This is how much I believe in this. We're gonna intrinsic the Kinstone and then duplicate it. Do we need to duplicate it if we have one? That's a good question. Let's think about this. It would allow, yeah, you know what? Actually, one with spell chain, but we gotta make it cheaper. Magic power. Let's think about this. What do we got coming up? Money, meld, money, meld. So we have plenty of opportunities to upgrade spells later for pack shards if we want it. We can stay low. You know what's weird is that I kind of also like a making of a morsel being innate, but if Primordium is fragile, it really doesn't matter too much. But I love the Eternal Kinstone just because we can play the Echo Transfers much more easily, and we can get the shell going. We will really want multi-strike, though. Like, really, really want multi-strike. We're gonna make that intrinsic. 31 damage to a random enemy unit twice. A good plink I'm willing to get, and we're going a little bit heavy at this point, but I think it's okay. And we could also put the Morsel Maker behind the Crucible Collector, but we need something to do with the morsels anyways. We're just gonna do this. Because when he splits the egg, we want to actually be able to play the units. Although I guess we could just get a second Bog Chrysalis and have another Morsel Maker. Shell's gonna take a little while to get de-shelled, but is that what we want? Do we want a second Bog Chrysalis that's gonna pop out 2 Bog Flies eventually that start scaling? You know, it gets us to 100 pack shards like immediately, which is very scary. In fact, I think we went too heavy into pack shards. By like quite a bit. But I'm gonna do it anyways. We went from 30 to 100 almost immediately. So I don't want to give enemy unit spikes because Primordium is probably gonna die. So we're gonna turn off the challenge. We're gonna fly low and try to survive for a little while. Grants haste. This is fine. We have enough energy to play what we want to play on this turn. Making of a morsel. Chrysalis. Primordium, grant 1 charge that can't be removed, buff the health. We do not do enough damage, but we got spells that might be able to help. Echo Transfer needs to be played. Another Bog Chrysalis we should play. We gotta hatch these things at some point. Gold or Pyre Health? That's a good question. We might not play the Crucible Collector at this stage. I think we'll save the, well, we can't even kill you, so yeah, we'll save the Pyre Health. Allows us to Echo Transfer, play a Morsel, and then we'll play another Bog. We'll take we'll take a little bit of damage thanks to the spikes. This is very awkward. I mean, we're doing 69 damage, but it's slow getting to this point. We need the plinks anyways, because we need to charge up the Echo Transfer. You know what? There you go. You're fragile, but you're getting me gold. We're gonna take a little bit more damage. This is kind of what we're looking for. Because you're hatching, and you're gonna hatch with 100 flies. So I hope you're seeing that this can work, even if it's tricky. Really? Thank you, we got one of them. We're actually hatching both of them. Ah, because they both pop one shell every turn. So there you go, we got freaking 4 flies now, and we summoned a unit so none of them are fragile. That seemed to have worked very well all of a sudden. I mean, we're still not killing you. Why are we not killing you? You do 100 damage times... It's not times 4. You do 100 damage times 2 and then 28 damage times 2. Well, in that case, kill you. Oh, you are a sad train steward. And they're still scaling +6/+6 every turn. So if we give them multi-strike, I think we're in the clear. We just have to give them the multi-strike. Well, you know what? If we can only play one, all right. I still think you're dead. And by think, I mean no. So we took like 50 pyre damage, but I believe, 41, I believe in this deck. I really do. I like the idea of giving I like the idea of giving damage shield to Primordium if we need it. But really, we just need to get to the infusions faster. We need to upgrade our units. Do we have an upgrade coming up? No, actually, but we can remove cards, go to the Merchant of Magic. Let's take the Grovel. If we can make that a damage shield every turn, I'd be happy. Another Kinstone? I will. But we only need one intrinsic, I think. Days when they enter the train. Enemy units are weaker, friendly units are stronger. Yes, that's what we're looking for. Stegosaurus, welcome. Did you get around to Vermintide the other day? Last week we did, this week, no, I didn't get around to it. I'd like to though. Well, I would have liked to, but we'll save it for next week. We'll save it for later. Remove, remove. We might want to consider removing the Crucible Collector as well, but I don't think we have to. Permafrost. Nothing matters with Permafrost. Better Plinks. I like. Cheaper Grovel. I like. This is kind of what I was hoping for. A free holdover Grovel is amazing. A free holdover infused intrinsic, well, it's not infused, but a free holdover Eternal Kinstone pops those shells extremely quickly. I actually kind of like this more. We've already upgraded it, so why not buff it, right? It's weird, but it might just get the job done. So, unit upgrades are coming up next. I would like to take the Pact for money. Spell Shield 2 for 150 gold. We don't really rely on morsels, so I'm gonna do it. It's gonna hurt, but we don't really rely on morsels. We just rely on the units, and they're gonna do good enough. Now, use Sweep, which is a pain in the ass, but that's kind of why I have Grovel, just so I can give my champion damage shield if I need it, and we're gonna need it. We also did not get the unit that we wanted, but that's fine. So how is this gonna work? It's gonna take you multiple turns to get to the top. We'll do this. I'll give you a damage shield. I will play you. I mean, you're gonna do damage, which I like. We'll buff your damage. And we know that we're gonna be getting a, might as well. We know that we're gonna be getting a egg next turn, so we'll save space for the egg. Now, if we have 2 eggs, we can still play them. One of them will be fragile and it's gonna die, but what else are you gonna do? So you might as well do it. You might as well play it. I guess you could play it here and have it die, but start there. Can't quite hatch the egg on this turn, so I think you guys are gonna make it up to the pyre, unfortunately. But one thing that this deck that I would like to add is better spells. And the other thing I would like to do is remove the Crucible Collector. We should have done it last time, because it took up a draw, and now we can't play these. And we should have made them large stone, I think. Quick large stone with an open slot for multi-strike would have been great, but that's not how it happened, obviously. You sweep, but we can still play morsels on occasion. Play this here. Play... We gotta play 2 of these. We okay getting Ember Drain next turn? We can't really do anything about it, we just gotta play it, so... You're gonna die wherever I play you, so we might as well... Yeah, we might as well play you here and just have you do damage, even though you're gonna get a rage bonus, and then we might as well play you here because you have to start scaling. Well, you are doing 44 damage now, but our pyre is gonna take hits. Our pyre is gonna take hits. We're not quite where we need to be, but we're getting there. So he's gonna hatch now. Every turn we can play things that buff this guy. The damage shield's gonna prevent me from killing you, but I might be able to get the gold. +1 energy. I don't think we need +1 energy. I think I just want to play a Making of a Morsel, because we need the fragility anyways. You're only gonna hit the pyre once. That's 15 damage. That's not that bad. And now we've got some good units out here, and we can keep the we can keep those going. This floor is gonna suck though. We need. I would like to have better spells. I don't know if we're gonna be able to do that. I don't think we're gonna get better spells, but you can't deny that when we hatch the eggs, we're doing fine. I think it will be removed, so I think the game lied to me. Yeah, so you can only have 4 that don't get removed. Good to know. Bit rude. I mean, I'm literally not gonna kill you soon. We're quick, so Primordium's gonna live. That's cool. We should have played this differently. We could have killed that unit, but they'll die next turn. And you have a lot of stealth. You're gonna make it through the Crucible Collector, but he kind of did his job. So do you play the infused Eternal Kinstone now? I think you don't. I think instead you kill, give you a lot of health, and then have you purge 2 stealth. Man, all we need is like multi-strike, and then our damage problems are done. They're done. They're done, bud. They're done. Might as well start here. Still have 3 turns of Primordium living. We're killing him. The one morsel allows us to tank the damage and then heal up to full off of the lifesteal. I guess that's why you have one Gorge guy on your team, right? Just so if you need him, you have him. I'll admit to an Excavation Eruption being tempting to do damage, but I really think if we can just get multi-strike, we don't need spell damage. because we have the plinks that we're still going to hopefully upgrade. We're never going to get around to upgrading Excavation Eruption. That's the problem. Infuse, extract, deal damage twice, gain, consume to the top of your draw pile, return a spell from the discard pile to your hand and apply Infuse -1 and consume. Yes, I will take a returned soul so I can play a morsel on a turn if I need to. We have to go left. Just have to. And we got multi-strike. And we don't need it on both because we can play one of them in the front or one of them in the back, but that's still great. Now, what else are we looking for? A large stone would be acceptable, I suppose. I don't think we need a damage shield. I mean, reroll? Yeah. Because we have the capacity. 2 for the champion, 1 for the bog, 1 for the bog. We could also make a huge Crucible Collector, but that's probably too much. Let's also check out the caverns. We might be able to just upgrade the one that we have. Purge a card, gain a card is okay. I don't want to get rid of the Crucible Collector. I think he's actually fine. I think he's fine. Purge Train Steward. I know I said that maybe I should purge him, and now I'm not purging him, but I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. Kindle, consume, gain 2x energy. We don't have expensive spells, so that's a skip. Wish I could purge more cards, but that's okay. Create a spell to cost -2. Don't need it. +10 magic power and piercing. I mean, 41 damage piercing plink does seem pretty good, but we could also just make another plink do 11 damage piercing. How much is this? +10 pact shards? I'd rather not continuously make my deck harder. Who are we fighting? Arcus? Arcus is not gonna... Arcus is very easy to handle with Crucible Collector. I'm not gonna upgrade the plink. I would if I cared about morsels, but I don't. I just care about Primordium. It's the only thing that matters. Spells get more expensive. We can start on floor 2. That's not a big problem. Yeah, we can start on floor 2. Well, oh, I'm dumb. I didn't make him large, which maybe that's a good thing because I can actually fit them both on the same floor now. That could have been a bad thing though. We'll give you that, give you this. Play you, play you. We could bring back Echo Infusion or Eternal Kinstone. I actually think, oh, right. I actually think we should bring back, Echo Break to kill you. Did we just like heal or something? I don't know. Well, we're gonna have to kill one Bog Chrysalis, so we're gonna kill the worst one. Actually, we're gonna put him in the back and then hope we can keep him alive. This one can go in the front, because he wants the buffs anyways. He should hatch next turn. Now, I can't help but notice we're doing 3 damage on this turn. That's not that good. I don't know if you know this, but 3 damage, you kind of need to do more than that in order to win in this game. You kind of need to do a little bit more than that in order to win. We have to kill a unit in order to live, and if we don't, we lose. Okay. I actually think we play this. It'll hatch the other one. So we get both of them out there, but our pyre is taking some nasty hits. These shell guys are really annoying. They're pretty annoying, aren't they? You're gonna hit the pyre once. Okay, I have already accepted it. Buff, play a morsel. Play a morsel. Now, all of a sudden, hey, everything is dying every single turn. Would you look at this? Oh my god, we're doing actual damage. It just took us to actually hatch before it happened. And then look at this. Oh, well, it's gonna lower our damage, but only temporarily. I mean, like, I don't know, just... That'll do more damage, and then you're dead. Seems pretty good. Grovel. I guess grovel you, because you're in the front. I mean, you're all quick. You're killing the enemies before they can even attack. Well, actually, you're not. You sweep, you sweep. Okay, keep you alive. I don't think anything else is gonna make it through, but I'm not loving how this is working. I think it is a little slow. No S, huh? Make sure it's the right card. You can stack up the lifesteal, you can do nothing. We've got a lot of damage now. Just took a while to get there. That's why I like having animuses. You know, they don't have to hatch in order to get their abilities, their buffs. But I think we'll be fine. 2 turns? Well, you still take all of the buffs. How about this? We have a lot of echoes on that floor too, a lot of infusions. So you're dead, you're hitting us twice, I think, and then we're gorging on our primordium. We didn't even need the top floor. Maybe we should get rid of the Crucible Collector then, because when we draw him and no eggs on turn 1, it sucks. Perfect Insanity. Oh, Accelerated Incubation is also good. We have a temple coming up. So if we take Perfect Insanity, we can almost always guarantee a kill every turn, but it takes us a couple of turns to power this card up. Echoes of the Past is a free damage bonus on a Chrysalis every turn, and it doesn't clear your infusions below the cap that we are creating for ourselves. 4. Accelerated Incubation, if we get this card intrinsic, would be amazing to pop the Chrysalises immediately, which I think is, like, what's the problem right now? Is the problem killing the enemies on Relentless, in the middle of the combat, or at the beginning? The problem is at the beginning of combat. We can't kill them. Accelerated Incubation pops the egg so that we can kill them more easily. But Echoes of the Past is also good. Well, it's really good because if you put it on Primordium, it'll scale faster. Okay, you know what? Take that, and then we really need, I think, more draw. We have to get to the proper cards fast. And then do we want to go to a merchant or a merchant of magic? Well, rather, which merchant do we want to go to? I really do think we want to get rid of Crucible Collector. I do. We have a Bog Chrysalis. We can look for an upgrade there. Merchant of Magic, what would we look for? Holdover and damage spells. We do need more damaging spells, and our plinks are trash, but... Concealed Caverns tempts me. It tempts me, man. Hell, Crucible Collector having multi-strike might be good enough to keep it in the deck, just so it can hit a couple of times early. But, I will admit, I'm curious, because we can go to a Merchant of Magic here. We don't need to duplicate anything. I'm interested in this Caverns. Plus 10 health and Heartless. When your Pyre kills, heals, or plus 25 health. I mean, we can buff a Bog Chrysalis. Wouldn't say we got a great pick, but we got something. And we can get the other Bog Crystals with multi-strike. I think that's totally fine. And I think I will remove the Crucible Collector. I just don't think we need it. I think it's just not enough. The lifesteal is good, but we gotta get these guys early. If we don't get these guys early, we're screwed. We need to get at least one on turn 1. We do. So Crucible Collector, you can be removed. Sorry. I added you early and you carried me for a little while, but I think you're done. You're done, bud. Buffet 12 is what we want here. We don't need to reroll now, because nothing else can take slots, so I think I will just purge probably bad Plinks. Echo Breaks are at least targeted, but these 2 Plinks, they can go. Let's do the other one, because we have gold coming up. I would also like Making of a Morsel to show up faster. If it shows up in turn 1, then we can make our champion not have, we can make our champion not have, fragility. Armor 20. These units are gonna be real tough. It's this guy, Living Armor. Gilded Wings, they have 200 HP. Winged Conduit, grants multi-strike. If we give them armor, he's gonna be harder to kill. But in theory, our units can out-heal them due to the fact that our champion's gonna be gorged every turn. So I think we can turn it on and try to get the gold to upgrade spells after this. We only have one card that can target the multi-strikers, but I don't think the multi-strikers are the be-all end-all of what's getting me killed here. It's really just being able to pop open the eggs, and we're gonna definitely try on this combat. And I guess when they're buffed, I can't kill them with the cards anyways. So this is honestly fine. What we will do, we got 2 Eternal Kinstones is amazing. We're actually gonna play the Bog Chrysalis to have this take Fragility, because Primordium's gonna attack into the spikes. So it'll be this. We're not gonna hatch them on turn 1. Actually, we might hatch on turn 1. We might hatch one of them, which is insane. I don't even know if that's good. I mean, we're getting one of them open. He's not gonna have a lot of damage, but at least he's gonna scale with the shards now, which I guess is very good for us. There's that done. We can start buffing damage there. Guess you try to get Plink to kill. It worked, and you're hurting, which is nice. We can't play the morsels, so I will just do this so that you're not fragile. So we've got damage. It's not enough, but we can still get more shards. Yes, we want Echoes of the Past. Eternal Kinstone. I think we want Plink. I think we want Echo Break. He's gonna hit the pyre once. I am okay with that. Our damage is scaling. I hate to say it, but like our pyre tanking damage is very important. Our pyre needs to tank a little bit of damage, like every combat. I hate when I can't get kills. I'd much rather kill you because this is a 4-unit floor and you're gonna tank 100 damage, which is not good for me. Get those killed. I mean, we do have Shadow Box, so it is worth playing morsels. If we can get to 20, we can, you know, We don't need Eternal Kinstone. We could probably just let it go. We're already at the cap for the echoes anyways. Why don't we just play this and then this? And we're definitely not gonna hit 20. That shadow box is really not doing that much, is it? Hey, I can kill you. Hit. Why don't you have stealth? It's not that challenge anymore. I'm dumb. I thought it was still that challenge. Let's give you a damage shield. Let us bring back a Echo Transfer, because why not? And then we'll play nothing else, because there's nothing else to play. I don't know, can we hit 120? No. I mean, the worm is doing 500 damage right now. That's exactly what we're looking for. Like, the worm. I mean, he is a bog worm. We took no damage because we healed because of refracting lenses, which is why I keep hearing that sound effect. Yo, that's actually incredible because it means that we can buffer our health a little bit in order to tank a little bit of damage on the pyre in order to play units. I like it. Now, I don't know what we're gonna do about Divinity. I think we have to play bottom floor, but if we get lucky capacity draw, we can go middle, which I think would be best, because it gives us one turn to pop our units open. So I think I kind of like Crucible Extension, and then, yeah, Soul Crushing Guilt. I mean, any, Soul Siphon's pretty good too. Soul Crushing Guilt, any card that is extract is free, essentially. It has no extract cost. So this is exactly what we're looking for. Double stack. Dude, I mean, Days 6 is incredible. Damage Shield 2, though, could keep our champion alive, but if we get it holdover, it might be worth on that. Although being able to Daze on holdover would also be great. 1 is also a price that's payable. We did get intrinsic. So what were we looking for? We're looking for an intrinsic. Was it a making of a morsel so that we can, no, intrinsic. We need damage. How do we get damage? Echo Transfer intrinsic spell chain? That is good damage, actually. It makes sure that you have 30 damage to start with on Primordium. I really like that. Jack strips. Days when they enter the train. I kind of like that for the bottom. Kind of like Jack strips as well to get rid of spell chain. It's not going to do anything else. Sorry, to get rid of damage shield. It's not going to do anything else. It's not going to kill anything. But if we can start on, oh wait. Start here. IG says, spell chain on Echoes of the Past seems sick. I don't like it. And I think the reason why is that you saw at the end of the last combat, when our units are doing 500 damage, that's enough. You know, we don't need more than that. So I think spell chain on Echoes of the Past is best when we already have plenty of charged echoes, because then we can actually get a lot of value out of it. But I think a spell chain intrinsic echo transfer is better because then on turn 1, we can guarantee plus 30. Which means that our eggs are gonna start getting lots of damage quickly. Now, if we do that, can't take space, we don't need Space Prism. We don't need Space Prism because we didn't take Large Stone. Eternally Blissed, thank you very much for the resub. Love the content, keep up with the good work. Would love to see more Dead Cells. I don't know when I'm gonna come back to Dead Cells. I probably will at some point, but not now. At some point though, sure. Okay. Yeah, I really do like an intrinsic spell chain echo transfer. Turn 1, 30 extra damage on Primordium. Helps the Bog Chrysalises a lot early, because we need damage. And then can we give it holdover? Hold up. Just double stack. Okay, I'm gonna double stack Soul Crushing Guilt for the days. I'm gonna magic power the piercing Antumbra Assault because it's a targeted damage spell. I'm gonna cost -1 on the put this on the Soul Crushing Guilt because now it's a literal free play. Permafrost. On Soul Crushing Guilt, I have to admit, that's very tempting. Return Soul as well can help us to get a specific card when we need it, but it does consume cards. But on Soul Crushing Guilt, it's fine. We can play on the middle floor, which means Jackstrips can remove damage shield. If we play on the bottom, I like Concussive Coals, but on turn 1, we're gonna do no damage. Enemies are gonna make it up to the pyre on Divinity. Are we okay with enemies making it to Divinity? Maybe we'd rather reroll and look for better relics. And then intrinsic. There's no holdover, only permafrost. I really do like that echo transfer for the early damage. Gets us to 125 pack shards, but I think it's worth it. Because we already have the Kinstone. I mean, a spell chain Soul Crushing Guilt is fun too, but no. I think I like this. So we desperately need the damage. I wish we could go top floor Divinity, but I just don't think we can. Because it's got the dang old sweep that's gonna kill my champion. It's 20 magic power and consume. Dude, honestly, Antumbra killing a unit. We only need it to work once, then our units will scale themselves. Spell cost -1. Free grovel, can't complain. I don't think we need a permafrost. We're gonna, every card we play as soon as we draw it, except for a Soul Crushing Guilt. We have 625 gold and we might want to remove cards, we might want to get a relic. The problem with the bottom floor isn't that I think that Daze is going to save us a lot of HP, because we have quick units. I actually think the bottom floor is just the worst floor to start on because we can't get our units hatched early. I can remove one card, or I can remove a card and make something permafrost. So I will make Soul Crushing Guilt permafrost, and then I will remove one card, and I will remove a Bad Echo Break. 26 card deck. Sure, 125 pack shard. And it's gonna be rough. Let's see. Let's see if we've built this deck correctly. Let's see if we know what we're doing. We're gonna get a lot of garbage in our deck if we start it on the top, but I still think you probably want to start on the top. So that's what we are going to do. Self-mutilations, we'll just have to play them. A lot of our cards are free, so I think that is fine. I actually also think that what we want to do right now is engine upgrade, so we have the energy to play these cards. 1, 2, 3. We will not play the second Echo Transfer. We will play 1 Echo Transfer and 1 engine upgrade. So we will start with the engine upgrade because it consumes. Why are we going to do it like this? Because I really want to play a Making of a Morsel to have Primordium not be... fragile. Although to be fair, it hasn't really come into play too often, and if we buff the damage of our eggs, then they'll kill any spike units. So you know what? Let's not play Making of a Morsel, we'll just play Engine Upgrade, and then we'll play 2 Echo Transfers. How about that? How about that? We'll take 1 damage. But I want the energy, and I want the damage, and we have the damage. So now we have 60 damage. And the next turn we're gonna have 120. Turn after that we're gonna have 180 damage. And once this thing hatches, we're gonna have even more. Sounds good to me. Purge this. Infuse, consume, do 31 damage. You don't matter as much because you're coming up now. Play this. Play this. Play this. Not quite hatching, but you'll hatch next turn. We still have quite a lot of damage up there though, so I'm pretty happy. Play. We're not gonna have the capacity, but you might as well play it up here and then play this. Now you're both hatching. We got a lot of garbage. You're fragile! I mean, it doesn't really matter because we have so many. We actually do want to kill this one so that this one can start gorging because it's the better one, but it's not the end of the world. It is a little annoying that this is how it ended up going though. We can consume this card. If I kill you now, we will have, let's start here. If I kill you now, we will have enough damage to kill everything. So I'm gonna kill you. I don't like doing that, but I do think it's in our best interest to get this problem out of the way right now. Should have played this morsel, but that's fine. So because we didn't play a morsel in the previous turn, he came out with fragile. We have to try to remember that, because that's super important. It costs us quite a lot of damage, unfortunately, but I do think we'll be fine. Don't consume these. What have I consumed? I'm very glad I have not yet consumed Echo Transfer or Echo Infusion. We will consume Eternal Kinstone. Okay. We will buff. No, we don't want to extract. We want to echo right now. Yeah. Gets you up to 81. It's pretty good. And we'll buff, and we'll buff. Then we will... We have no sweepers coming up, but I'm still gonna grovel the champ just to make sure that they can live. And then you're never gonna get hit, so lifesteal doesn't matter. Let's give you health. You can die, because we want to charge Shadow Box. Sometimes we're not gonna be able to choose which unit gets fragility. Sometimes it's just gonna happen, and if it happens, it happens. We'll deal with it. We still have lots of bog flies, but we do need to try to be careful when possible. Consume the Echo Break, please. Then Echo Transfer, Echo Transfer, Echo Transfer, and then we Can't really hit you with that, but this is frozen anyways. Do we return soul anything? Yes, we want to thin out the deck whenever possible. And also, getting rid of an Echo Transfer doesn't really bother me that much because we want the damage now. I mean, we're gonna have a ton of damage. By the time that we do 1,000 damage per turn, we're also gonna have like 400 health. That should be enough. Consume. Consume the... Please consume Making of a Morsel. That way I can play the Vengeful Shard. So gain another plus 30. Sounds good to me. And honestly, and then when the boss moves up, we'll just daze him. Yeah. You know, honestly, we could have intrinsic soul-crushing guilt to play the top floor of Divinity. I should have thought about that, because that would be a really interesting play. Ultimately, I think it's going to be... you were living, which was very surprising. Ultimately, I don't think it's going to matter too much, but it is something to consider. No sweepers, no sweepers. Damage shield doesn't really matter, let's be honest, but... Oh, we're also not going to get Shadow Box. We have to play 10 morsels. No. Cool. So there's 1,000 damage, times 2. There's 6 turns of daze. There's a buttload of damage. More damage shield. Making of a morsel. Cool. And we're still gorging, so we did 1,500 damage per hit there. Wide is what we have to worry about here. We can't go wide easily when one of our juiced up flies dies. So actually, please draw Soul Crushing Guilt soon. Actually did draw it on turn 1. We still can't do it. I hate to say it because I don't have the extract capable for it early. Otherwise, I would love to play Primordium, then the Bog Chrysalises, then have no problems, but we just can't do it. We can start on floor 2, and it's not even that bad. And Jackstrips are gonna get rid of the damage shield. It's the entire reason why I think that Jackstrips is amazing. Not only to kill the 1 HP units early, but in the late game, when you get here, damage shield is annoying. So we're gonna start in floor 2. Primordium in the back, Soul Crushing Guilt to keep us safe. We will buff Primordium heavily. We have the energy exactly for this with Soul Crushing Guilt in hand. This is almost like a perfect draw. We could also let Primordium not have Fragile and Fragile the Bog Chrysalis instead, which I think is better because you need to live for longer. So yeah, we'll do it like this. It looks bad, but it's actually fine because you're gonna tank. Then, now we have damage for next turn. Not enough, but we'll have some damage. And in a couple of turns, we can play Soul Crushing Guilt if we have to. And we can even Soul Crushing Guilt returned soul, Soul Crushing Guilt. If you guys make it to the pyre, you make it to the pyre, I don't care. Bog Chrysalis is dying. Let's stop that. We'll start with Echo Infusion. Start with Eternal Kinstone. Then we'll start with Eternal Kinstone. What are we gonna be playing on this turn? Play this. Hold on, how much damage is incoming? 36 plus 20, 56 damage. An Echo Infusion actually keeps you alive, and we can put 1 Echo Infusion on Primordium. Or if we get a lucky Plink at 31 damage, we can actually kill you. We could also just Soul Crushing Guild the boss, which is totally feasible. Here's what I'm thinking. Eternal Kinstone first means that we can open with Soul Crushing Guilt, then play the Plinks, then play Echo Infusions, then play the Plinks. If we do it in that order, we can gain extra echoes that can work towards popping the shells, which I really like. We just have to play Plinks last. However, if the Plinks do not hit the Wiltwing, we will, well, this Plink specifically, we will probably lose the Bog Chrysalis. So it's actually, I think, better to play. There's a lot of stuff happening here. I think we play Eternal Kinstone Soul Crushing Guilt on the boss. That actually lowers the damage enough that we're gonna live. The Pyre's gonna take some damage, but that's kind of what the Pyre is supposed to do. Let me look at the damage numbers, because it's 30 plus 18, it's 48 damage. But you're not gonna die, so it's not 48 damage, it's 38 damage. So we don't need to play Echo Infusion on you, we can play Echo Infusion on Primordium. Let's start there and see how that plays out. Except Eternal Kinstone will add one and it's gonna be removed by Soul Crushing Guilt, but we have to do that anyway, so just do it. Do this, do this. You're not dying, which means let's just Echo Infusion here. We want to play a Making of a Morsel so that we purge fragility. And then we want to play a Plink in order to gain enough to open a shell. 2 units are dying. That's fine. I think that worked very well. So now they come out and they do... We have 400 damage on the field right now, actually more. And a lot of that damage is quick. I think that went extremely well. You're gonna hit the Pyre a few times, you're gonna hit it twice, you're gonna hit it once. This is the 42 damage. Might even be able to kill you, but probably not. You're gonna gain armor. I don't care. Because we're gonna play this. We're gonna play this. You know, it's funny, I could play Echoes of the Past on Primordium, and it is good, but I am wondering if maybe it's worth more playing it on this Bog Chrysalis is about to pop open. That way, we'll do more damage on this turn, and then have more damage for future turns to hit weak backline minions, because I want to make sure that we can actually kill everything. Like, if we have 4 minions on the field that all do 100 damage, times 2, that's already 800 damage, which is more than we need, and having it spread out I think is a little bit better. We don't need Primordium to have 99 damage. I think this is fine. It gets another kill, which is why I think it's good. Then, we're already hatching, we don't need Echo Break. Grovel on... You know what, we have to play Grovel in order to play a Morsel, in order to stop Fragility from the egg. I'm glad I realized that. We will grovel... We'll grovel the Bogfly at the front, because why not? You get damage shield, so we won't play up there. You get armor. There's not really a good place for this, except... I could kill my own Morsel, and then end turn. So we're thinking very hard about some of our turns, but there's a reason for that. We have to. Okay. Almost everything is dying. Phenomenal. We are wasting 137 damage on the front Wiltwing. That being said, if we attack any enemy, it's probably enough damage to get the kill on all the enemies. Except for this, but you know, all we're doing is just losing spike health, which doesn't really matter that much because we heal automatically because we have the, what is it, Making of a Morsel Maker inside of there. So Eternal Kinstone does not need to be played. Return Soul can exhaust the card, but I'd much rather play like an Echo Infusion. I think we don't need damage now, I think we need health. We should pivot. It's one of the reasons why I like these Echo cards. Infusion, Transfer, Past. We can kind of pick what we need, especially with Return Soul. What do we want? We're losing health. To me, it seems like maybe we want some health. Let's think. kind of like killing you, granting the spikes, because you have Spell Shield. We could then maybe try a Plink to see if it gets a kill. Plink will not get the kill on the Wiltwing in the front. We're wasting 137 damage, but I mean, 137, 137, 104, 104, 68, 68, 68, 68. I think if I kill the unit in the front, we can kill everything. Minus the annoying fact that we're gonna get just an absurd amount of armor, but I think we'll still be fine. Yeah. We healed a little bit, which we need. I'm not gonna be able to kill you. You do 5 damage to the pyre, I don't care. We don't have to worry about popping fragility. So what's the best play? Power up the morsels. I don't want to play Echo Infusion. I want it to come around so I can play it multiple times. So what's the best card to consume? Probably the Eternal Kinstone. We don't need it. Let's get that out of here. Even if this both hits, it can't kill him. So we should play Engine Upgrade. It doesn't matter, you die in one hit anyways. Echo Break is unnecessary. We can do more damage, but we're already punching through. This guy's still dazed for 4 turns. We have that card coming back around. So I don't really know what to play, but I tell you what, if we don't know what to play, why not play a Morsel Miner and power up that Shadow Box? I'm taking it super slow, but, you know, we have been curious about how we were going to fight this guy since the beginning of the game, and we're there. We need to make sure we're playing this smart. I think units are dead at this point. We can kill everything. I'm just going to daze you. Honestly, I think that's enough to stop you. I think we're going to win already. Already. So take a couple of morsels. I wish we had the capacity, but that's not how this deck works, is it? Egnart says, Primordium is so OP, I love it. He's a great unit, a great champion. This is the ideal build for it, though. You could also do something similar with Hellhorned Rage, and then having Rage be a status effect that gets transferred. You could also do it with Root Seeds and a couple of attack and health buff cards from Awoken. You can also do it with Cultivation Triggers that makes Primordium better. So there's other classes that do it, but Wormkin is the best due to the Echo Infusion, which is a common level card. Egnart says Multi-Strike. That too, but I've never managed to make that work, just because I don't do Umbra Hellhorn that often, I suppose. But if you can keep your Primordium alive, you can make him fragile. Now, if he applies fragile to another unit, which is what happens, yeah, be scared. Be very, very scared. There's 78 damage being applied. Might as well play you. Might as well return something back to our hand. Something playable. I mean, we want to consume all the garbage in our decks. We'll just play whatever we can. Anytime you can get a sweet-ass Primordium in the back of a multi-strike unit, you're gonna be so happy. Yoink. And then yoink. And then yoink. We're gaining 108 damage and 43 health every turn. Some units aren't dying, you're living. Really? I would not have expected that. I mean, I guess we can't kill everything. I wish we could, but... Yeah, Oh, because he's stealthed. No wonder we couldn't kill him. All right. I don't feel quite so bad anymore. You're gonna hit the pyre for 10. You're gonna hit the pyre for 20 because you have exactly 31 HP. Well, but we do 40 damage. What am I talking about? Let us return soul. What are we gonna return soul? Waves remaining 2, but we do have 1 more shuffle. Tell you what. Get this out of the deck, we don't need it. Get that out of the deck, we don't need it. You know, another good synergy here, and I only realize this now, I'm sorry, but refracting lens with that returned soul means every time we play it, we can consume a card and gain a little bit more health. I didn't even think about it. All right, if I can play 6 more morsels, we can get foghorn.exe. All right, we're good. We're also healing for 126. We also have an extra 183 damage every turn coming around. We also have, you know, just a simple 16 dazes on the boss. 5 more morsels to go until we pop. I like that you can specifically daze his groin. Not his head, not his feet, just his groin. Took a little bit of damage, but we healed a surprising amount of it back. Let's go. And I stand by the intrinsic spell chain echoes of the attack card because I think we needed the extra damage. Fragile applied 60, new record. Oh, fantastic. We really did need the extra damage to start a little stronger. And it was very minor, but I'm glad we took it because we kind of needed it. Fantastic. The other thing we could have done is if we drew Return Soul on turn 2, we could have drawn it back to play it a second time for 60 damage. We didn't, but we could have. And that 60 damage would have been applied, you know, times 4 because of the multi-strike and the fact that this Bog Chrysalis would have split. Still, good run. Bit of a tough run with the Fragile, but we kind of worked around it with Primordium. You know, if you can keep Primordium in the back and alive and keep him, you know, occasionally groveled up, he's only going to get hit by sweep or spikes because he's a weak unit on his own, and then it doesn't matter what's in front of him. We did add a Crucible Collector and then remove him at some point during the run, but we took him early, and I stand by this being acceptable, and I struggle to do this often in my own runs, but it's perfectly fine to take a unit to carry you for a few floors, and then if it doesn't synergize with what you're doing, remove it. That's what happened. We had Bog Chrysalises, which is what we wanted. We got rid of the deadweight. Well, we literally couldn't because we had like 7 of them, but, well, no, that was last run. I'm going to forever be haunted by extra pain train. But good run. For those of you on YouTube, thank you very much for watching. Like the video if you've enjoyed it. Subscribe for more. Check me out on Twitch for when I go live. Support the channel. Any of the links below in the video description. And I hope to see you here again for the next run of Monster Train.